Faisal Saleh, founder and executive director of Palestine Museum US. Today is an emotional day for me, filled with sadness and pride. I'm saddened to see our spectacular exhibit conclude after 7 months, which has welcomed over 100,000 visitors from around the globe. I take pride in the artwork of 26 Palestinian artists and the group from Scotland who honored 2,500 Gaza martyrs by sewing their names onto a giant Palestinian flag. Each piece in the exhibit reflects aspects of the Palestinian struggle, and when we put them all together, we get the story of Palestine. It's a story of injustice, struggle over many years, not just since the Nakba, but well before the Nakba. Struggle against occupation, apartheid and genocide, but also the story of perseverance and steadfastness in the face of unbelievable odds, unbelievable challenges and difficulties. I would like to take a final look at all the artwork in the exhibit and walk through it for the last time. So here we have Reem Masri, and the title of the painting, Land Fight. Here, Samia Halabi's giant painting, 3.38 meters, one of her largest. The title, The Massacre of Innocents in Gaza. Here we have Hajj's Imam. And here we have Muhammad al-Hajj. The title of his work, The Truth is with You and the Land is with Them. This is actually a reproduction from an image of the original artwork which was destroyed in the bombings in Gaza. It is no longer available as an original. A painting by the late Muhammad Bouchnak, Palestinian Dream. There are 4 artists represented who are no longer with us. And here is another one of them, Mustafa al-Hallaj, those who deterred the revolution. And below it's an untitled work. Namir Qasim, Deserve to Live, a reproduction print from a cartoon that Muhammad Sabani had made. The cartoon's title is Milad Walid Daqqa. This really has to do with the story of how Walid Daqqa, before he passed away, smuggled his sperm to his wife, and his wife was able to carry a child from him, despite all the Israeli efforts to prevent that. Life succeeded at the end, and Milad was born, and she is a lovely young girl now. On top we have Hani Amra's calligraphy work. It says foreigners in their homeland in Arabic. A drawing by Khalid Jarada titled Mitras from 2023. And Mitras in Arabic means an obstacle. Like in the US, we have things called them New Jersey dividers. Skin Carnage by Rasha Al-Jundi and Michelle Jabarin. And it really shows a lot of detail about the surveillance of Palestinians that takes place. Here we have some special work by Maysara Baroud and Muhammad al-Hajj as well. For Maysara Baroud, we have 120 sketches that are printed on translucent paper. The original sketches are in Gaza. They were made during the war, and they cannot be taken out of Gaza, and shows what was going on in Gaza during all those long months of bombings and killing. To the left here, we have these 2 columns were also made in Gaza. They are sketches by Muhammad al-Hajj, and they show different scenes of evacuation and living in tent city. We have another artist who's not with us anymore, Sari Khoury, and he has 2 paintings here from the Intifada series, which they were done between 1988 and 1990. a painting by Khairallah Salim. Khairallah never titles his works. We really think that this painting represents the Palestinian mother and tired, haggard, struggling, yet steadfast, and providing for children and building the future generation of Palestinians. On the top here, we have a painting by Lamis Dejani Shawa titled Stone Throwers, 1989, and that is also from the days of the first Intifada. This piece here is by the late Layla Shawa, who resided in the UK. This piece is titled Democracy in Red, and it's mixed media. It has very interesting things like nails in it, and it's very, very striking. 6 paintings by Jacqueline Bijani titled Gaza 1 through 6. And Jacqueline was trying to express the horror of what was going on in Gaza. A very striking portrait by Muhammad Khalil. The title of it is Portrait 2. We selected this piece since it conveys a very strong identity piece, and because of that we used it on the cover of the exhibit book. We have a painting by Dalia Ali. It's untitled. It's a mixed media painting that includes embroidery, patries, pieces of paper and newspapers, and more importantly includes the key of return. We have a painting by Nabila Nani. It shows the attachment of Palestinians to their land. It creates a scene where the people are growing from the ground. A painting by Ala El Baba, and it represents children in a refugee camp, and Ala is known for painting refugee camps in a colorized style, bringing very bright colors to the otherwise dull scenes in the camp. Here we have a painting by Janan Abdo, and it's called The Path of Nakba and the Journey of Displacement. And it shows how Palestinians were driven from their homes during the Nakba in 1948. Above, we have a painting by Zainab Shath. It's called Returning. Zainab also is a singer, best known for her song, The Urgent Call of Palestine, which was recorded by Ismail Shammout in 1972 in Beirut. This large piece here was designed and created by an artist from Scotland. Her name is Jane Ferrer, and it includes the names of 2,500 people who were killed in Gaza in the early part after October 7th, 2023. Jane got the 2,500 names and distributed them to a group of Scottish men and women in the Scottish Highlands who wrote by hand these names on strips of cloth, and then they sewed them on a giant Palestinian flag that you see here. Here we have a painting by Samira Badran. It's called Siege. Here also another work from Samira Badran, Memory of a Land. It is a video that shows a lot of the checkpoints and the obstacles that Israel has created, hinders and prevents Palestinians from moving from one point to another in the West Bank. It's a very striking video.
أنا آسف سامحيني قديش طول.
In the corner of the exhibit hall, there's a stand where we find a copy of the exhibit book, as well as a notebook for guests to write comments and observations. Contains a few hundred pages. Just about every page has Free Palestine on it. Some of it in multiple languages. This looks like somebody wrote something in Persian, and somebody didn't like it, they put a cross on it. This map is actually an OCHA map, which is an agency of the UN. And it shows hundreds of checkpoints that Israel had erected to control the movement of Palestinians throughout the West Bank, What used to take 10 minutes from Ramallah to Jerusalem now take 2 or 3 hours sometimes even more. In addition to the checkpoints, there are all kinds of watchtowers, military zones, military bases, and there are a lot of roads that are what we call apartheid roads that are not to be used by Palestinians. They're exclusively for the use of settlers, and there are hundreds of settlements and over 800,000 settlers who live inside the West Bank and divided into what the film we saw earlier calls the shredded homeland. Palestine will persevere, and we will win, and Palestine will be free. Sooner or later, that's bound to happen. We just all hope we'll be alive when that happens.